Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today I've got a little bit of a different format. As you can see, I have a PowerPoint presentation here for you that's very brief, but this is a very serious issue, something I've actually been researching for the last few days. And I just read an article on the Daily Beast that apparently has been running parallel to my research, but they've got some other information that I haven't been focusing on. So this is a combination. I think this is really terrifying because we are obviously coming off of a rather contentious election here, where a healthy percent of the population believes that the election was simply false, rigged, bought off by a foreign country, whatever that is. We have another set of the population that believes everything was perfectly fine, and we've got people that are everywhere and in between. But we are stepping into the realm of criminality, and I am deathly afraid that somebody is going to be very seriously hurt given what's going on here. And so with that, before I start diving into my research, as I will show you here in a moment, let's talk about what the Daily Beast has found, because I think it dovetails with my own research pretty well, because I've been researching for a couple of different reasons. Now, according to the Daily Beast, federal law enforcement authorities are saying that they're aware of a website that sprang up over this past weekend and actually began doxing federal and state government officials that are at odds with President Trump's efforts to overturn the election. Now, the site, which was created on Sunday, or at least appears to be created on Sunday, and I do concur with that, contains the home addresses, pictures of homes, personal emails, and photos of state and local officials who have basically either pushed back or questioned the president's legal campaign, to obviously overthrow the election, or not overthrow the election, rather change the election, obviously to his favor. Now, an FBI spokesperson told the Daily Beast yesterday on Thursday that the FBI is quote unquote aware of the matter, but they are not commenting any further. Obviously, they are in the middle of their investigation, so they're not going to give anything away. Now, even though this site was only online for a few days, the identity of those responsible for it are not yet known. Now, the possibility exists that that this could possibly be something to do with the Russian government, because the use of Russian addresses and hosting services were done to at least make it appear like it's a Russian operation. And I will be talking about that by virtue of my own research that I will share with you shortly here. Now, the same person behind this website also appears to have registered another election conspiracy website, which I'm not going to mention here. And that domain name is similar to the one that the Trump campaign actually set up last month to solicit testimony from quote unquote whistleblowers and others who claim to have knowledge essentially of election irregularities. And so now let's get into my own research here, because I think that this is a very terrifying thing. And I was actually alerted to this website when I was researching for an article that I'm putting together that is on cyber threats and doxing, basically how a cyber threat can move into the physical world and we end up with a problem. The reason why I was doing this or writing this article, or researching it rather, was because people basically went to, I believe it was the Secretary of State of Georgia as well as the Governor of Michigan, and were protesting outside of their homes, oftentimes armed. And that is a deep concern, because the last thing you want is somebody to get shot. We've also heard reports of families of elected officials being threatened as well. And this is insane in a democracy where we typically have peaceful elections. Now, I will say this to coincide with the Daily Beast and my own personal research, and just work on this. There does appear to be public Russian indicators that are related to the site, but quite frankly, I don't think there's enough evidence to claim that this is a state-sponsored situation. Anybody basically can do these things. I found a public contact email that links to a Proton mail from the site I'm about to show you here. That's a known secure email platform. I even have an email address there that I use to correspond securely with people that send me tips and other things. Now, the website itself that we're going to get into was registered in Massachusetts, but the name servers that are actually pointing to the website are out of Lithuania. Now, anybody can point their DNS anywhere, and they can use their NS or name servers virtually anywhere in the world. So this is not an indicator beyond a possible attempt to obfuscate their origin. They could be Russian, they could be the 400-pound fat guy in New Jersey. I cannot tell you at this point. And so with that, let's look at the screenshots from this website and some of the public figures that they put out information on. Now, before I start showing you this information, I want you guys to know a couple of different things here. These images that I am going to show you are only for known public officials. There were a slew of employees from companies like Dominion Voting and other companies, and obviously I mentioned Dominion because they are very heavily being showcased in a lot of news outlets right now. These people were also doxxed, but I did not include them here. They are not elected officials. These people that I will show you are public record. I will also state this. I heavily redacted any information that this website had. This website has currently been taken offline, but they were displaying email addresses, home addresses, possibly official address, and even images taken from what looks like Google Maps, you know, the Google Street View, where you can see the front of the house. That is in there as well. And so I removed all of that. I redacted all of that because I'm not about to dox these people. These are people that you will have seen in the news that were directly targeted with that information. Every single one of them had at least an email address, a home address, images taken from Google Maps, and on and on and on. Now, basically, we are assuming that these doxers got this information right to begin with. These email addresses, they assume are correct. They may not be. Same with the home addresses or the pictures on Google Map. And so I wanted to remove all of that to make sure that I wasn't actually killing anybody's privacy in any which way, shape, or form. These are actual screenshots from the website. And with that, let's get going. So the website is Enemies of the People. I will not give you the domain. I'm sure some of you will try to sleuth this out, but you can see here that what they are essentially putting out right at the beginning is, it is possible that our enemies will suspend this site. They knew that this was possibly going to be taken down, but they were putting up information, and you can see the following individuals have abated and abetted the fraudulent election against Trump. And so this is obviously a very serious issue that we have here, because they're going to start doxing people. And with that, let's actually begin. Because the first one that on the list of public officials, again, minus any private citizens, is the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. And as you note, I have basically removed email addresses and pictures and all of that, not to mention basically just edited out and cleared out the addresses to the mansion and her personal home and all of that. But you can also see the verbiage and the wording here that is consistent through this. And this is one of the problems that we have with situations like this, is that you've got people that, let's say, are motivated to take action against these individuals. Note the target on her face. Note the wording here. Basically the election in her state was completely rigged. She is a traitor. This is the verbiage that is going to unfortunately take that very small subset of individuals and basically push them to do something possibly physically against the governor. Governor Whitmer, excuse me, was also the one that had a kidnapping plot against her a few months ago or so that was foiled by law enforcement. This is a very serious issue. These people are out there that would actually do harm to a state official. The next one is Gabriel Sterling. You might have seen his press conference where he was talking about, you know, we all need to calm down. Somebody's going to get shot. And here he is, same verbiage, same target on his face. That is consistent through all of these. You know, here we have the governor of Nevada in the same situation as the governor of Michigan and everybody else. Christopher Krebs. Obviously, I consider him a colleague. We're both in cybersecurity. He ran the CISA. You can actually see, you know, even Trump's own lawyer said he should be executed. He has every right to fear for his life by virtue of people like this. And Mr. Krebs is actually suing the Trump campaign. He is suing that lawyer and everything else. This is what we are talking about. And it goes on and on and on. Here's the governor of Arizona. I've had to redact all of this, but this is obviously a very serious issue. Here's the lieutenant governor of Georgia. He's been very public. I believe he was on CNN in this picture. That background looks very familiar to me, talking about how this election was free and fair, but that's not enough. And finally, and this is the last one I will show you because there is a ton of people on this site that is no longer there. This is the director of the FBI, Christopher Wray. This is the person that was appointed by President Trump, and here we are. And so I think that this is a very serious issue that we have here because this is actionable. People basically saw this, and you can see in the lower left-hand corner of Mr. Wray's targeting site, if you will, 424 people at the time that I took this image essentially had seen this this image, not to mention the others. You go back, this one had 198, and on and on and on. So the people that are motivated to possibly do harm are finding these sites. These sites are being put out there, and that is a very serious problem. Doxing in and of itself, when you're a private citizen, is horrendous. It's horrendous when you're a public citizen as well, or a public official. But as we go through a contentious election, and we've got people that are motivated to actually say that this country is being destroyed and therefore I should take up arms, and they are seeing this with a target and words like traitor and an address, what do you think is going to happen? I am glad the FBI is investigating this. I am apolitical when it comes to politics. I have said this consistently, that cybersecurity is agnostic to politics, but we are clearly not immune from it. And this is the problem that we have. I will call out anybody that wishes to do harm on any side of the political aisle. This is the latest and most visible one of this, and this is a huge problem. And so if you see these kinds of things, I really urge you to let your local law enforcement or federal law enforcement know, depending on what it is, because we all have to keep each other safe. We can disagree till the cows come home about what the election is, but what the United States has had for centuries, literally, is a peaceful transfer of power. And every 4 years, somebody is annoyed that their guy didn't win. And you know what? We come back in the next 4 years and we try to vote that guy out, or we try to vote that party out. This is how the system has worked. And so that is a problem. And what I really don't want to hear in my comments, and I'm probably sure that I will, is, well, it was rigged. It was rigged. This is horrible and awful. That's fine. You can believe that all you want. But if you are going to take it to that next step and paste targets on these people and pick up weapons against people, that is a very serious issue. We are all in this together. We really have to make sure that we have a peaceful and smooth transition of power. I don't care how ticked off you are that your guy didn't win, or your guy did win, or whatever it is. Please speak at the ballot box. Don't speak online like this. And that is your unfortunate news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. And please, please, please stay civil. Thanks, everyone.